Hey you guys, it's Ashley, and before I put out my Billy Graham as a 33rd degree Mason, I wanted to tell you a little bit about what a Freemason is. So real quick, there are 33 degrees to a Freemason. There are 3 grades to them: Journeyman, Fellowcraft, and Master Mason. And that was adapted from the medieval craft guilds, and it's based on like stonemasons. That's how far back it goes. Anyhow, they are just a small portion of the vows I listed that I want to kind of read off. They all swear to the Supreme Being, and you have to take, it's part of your oath-taking process during the induction. And by taking this masonry obligation, swearing the oath, and agreeing to and through ignorance and darkness, members are allowing all of their free will stripped from them and being mentally, emotionally, and spiritually built from the ground up with these beliefs that they are willing to die for and kill for, which is one of the many vows they must swear to, by the way. This is also really MK Ultra in its rawest form. Masonry denies and contradicts the Word of God, and it requires members to partake in sexual rituals involving the sacrifice of living beings, and in also the consumption of blood and flesh in both animals and humans. And that's still going on to this day, and it's called blood debts. That's very real, and that goes on, like I said. They say they believe that all deities are equal, and Jesus Christ was nobody special. Their motto is do what you want as long as you hurt no one, unless their hurt furthers your own growth. Sin does not exist. It's a matter of rudeness only. They believe in their personal salvation plan, and to get to the paradise to come is based on good deeds and, things like that. Rituals, I told you about those. 33rd degree Masons make up most all of the undercurrent that runs this world, and that's scary. And I told you about, we all know they use numbers, symbols, colors, things like that as far as as a form of communication within the news media and news articles. Things like on TV, they might use the number 33 might come up so many times. The colors black and white might come up in a checkerboard pattern. Blue and red is a big deal for them. But if you'll look up Satanism or Aleister Crowley, you'll see that what he stands for is very parallel. It's so side by side what the 33rd degree, Freemasonry in general stands for, but especially the 33rd degree Masons, what they stand for. I'm trying to steady my hand, you guys. Aleister Crowley says, do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. And that's extremely similar to do what you want as long as it doesn't cause hurt. And if the hurt, allows you to grow, then the hurt's okay too. So, that's super, super similar, right? And so it's very scary. In the end, the Freemasons, they practice witchcraft. They refer to themselves as Luciferians, the higher they go. Now, I'm going to give off real quick I'm going to list the degrees and how it works. But the first through the third, like I said, is an apprenticeship. It's a practice and training. And that's given out by the Scottish Rite. Matter of fact, anything up to the 32nd degree is under the Scottish Rite. The 33rd degree Mason is always under the Knights Templar. That holds the 33rd degree. Okay, so the 4 through 14 are what's called the Lodge of Perfection. I'll list the meanings to every one of the degrees in my description. So if you want to know what each degree means, go on in my description. It'll be there. So 4 through 14 is what's called the Lodge of Perfection. And a lot of members never make it out of that area. They're content to stay there. They're the front of the operation, which is really sad. So it looks to be one way, but it's really darker. 15 and 16 is what's called the Council of Princes of Jerusalem. And 17 and 18 degrees, they're called the Chapter of Rose Croix. 19 through 32 are called consistory. I hope I'm saying it right. Consistory. How stupid, man. I can't even speak tonight. And like I said, the 33rd degree is going to be the Knights Templar. So 3% of the entire fraternal of Masonic Brethren are 33rd degree Masons, and they run the entire planet. Not just America, not just a single country, but the entire planet. And you know their secrets are they'll never, ever testify truthfully against each other. Ever. They have secret handshakes. We all know about that. They have several secret passwords. One happens to be Tubal Cain, and that goes back to Cain and Abel. They have their initiation rituals always involve a noose. They're obsessed with the sun. They believe that the East is a symbol for rebirth, and the lodges are always built facing east and west and never north and south. And they also attempt to control solar power for their rituals from the sun. Okay. The oaths, and I have them written down and we'll go quick. All right. So this is just a tip of the iceberg. And this is not even a fourth of what they have. Okay. Number 1, do you believe that salvation can be gained by man's good works? Do you accept and will you promote that Jesus Christ is an equally revered prophet, just as equal to any other throughout history? The only way that you do not have to promote this is out in the world is by monetary gain, employment, job, etc. Do you swear on all things supreme that you will not speak of Christ in or around the lodges, brethren, functions, etc.? Do you swear on all things supreme that you will approach the organization in total ignorance and darkness, learning Freemasonry ways, adapting these laws as your daily living guidelines in and out of the organization's reach, site, sound, so on? Do you swear on all things supreme that it is not considered blasphemy to take the name of the Lord and the Holy Bible in vain? The true and only real blasphemy is spreading the organization's secrets to the world. Do you swear on all that is supreme that the architect of this world is present in all religions? And do you swear on all that is supreme that true worship can be ordered in the lodge? Offered in the lodge without incorporating Jesus Christ? And do you swear on all things supreme that one and only true entrance to the heaven or the paradise in the hereafter is through the doctrines of the order of the Masonic teachings, what they call our plan of salvation, which is by, of course, good deeds? So that's what, just a few of the things you have to say. All Christians basically have to give up. If you're a Christian going to this place, you will not be a Christian when you take that oath. It's just, you can't do it. You cannot serve two gods. You can't. And you can't sit on the fence. It's just not going to work. So I wanted to say all of that because what I have coming up, I want everybody to understand real quick that the 33rd degree, the highest that you can go in Freemasonry, is dangerous. Super duper dangerous. And sadly, if I haven't said this already, they call themselves the Alpha and the Omega of the financial and political world. And that is the facts. I hate to say it, but they are the end all. You have to answer to them. They're the ones that give direction. They're the ones that give command. They're the ones that handle our monies, our politics, every bit of it. They are it. And that's sad, but true. And, I just thank God that I'm not a Freemason, and I don't ever want to be. But just know that the upcoming video that I do on Billy Graham, I've been cussed out a lot by trying to tell people the truth. And the truth is, it's more than just a handshake. That's another set of rules that they have. You can't perform the handshake unless You know, that would be like the Crips throwing up the Bloods gang signs. You know what I'm saying? Or the Bloods throwing up the Latin Kings hand sign. It's not going to happen. You know, you do the handshake, it's because you're a member of the Freemasons. So just keep that in mind when you see the video that's upcoming. You guys, thank you for being here. I appreciate you listening to me. And I apologize. I do babble a lot, so I don't want to turn anybody off. I'm just here trying to tell it like it is. Thanks for listening, and I'll talk to you soon. Have a blessed night, you guys. Later.